Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report. It's Wednesday, and we're going to kick off this week's reviews with the Age of Revelations books. This one, Iron and Frost. Yes, Iron Man and Emma Frost are in this one. They have a history together, and we're going to find out what their future is, judging by the fact that this is 10 years in the future. So, Age of Revelation has been okay so far. Well, let's be honest, right? The Amazing X-Men book has been really good. The one-shot overture, really good. The stuff Jed McKay's been writing in this event has actually been surprisingly good. However, all of the one-shots so far, for me, have just been miserable. Miserable books to read, hard to read, terrible storylines. And do you know what? They all feel disjointed. Well, let's see if this one is any different. We're going to dive in. I'm going to take a look at it page by page. So there will be spoilers. Be aware. Read the book beforehand if you want to spoil. Like the video if you can. Hit subscribe too. That would be fantastic. So Iron Man, one of my favourite characters of all time. He's in the top 5 for sure. One of the first runs I ever completed. Every Iron Man, Tales of Suspense, you name it, the miniseries. Iron Man for me was probably one of the very first comic books I ever read as a child as well. So the character's always been important to me. So I always pick up anything that he's in. The last Iron Man series by Spencer Ackerman was probably the worst run, or one of the worst runs in the history of Iron Man. So I'm excited that we have a new Iron Man book coming with Josh Williamson coming very soon, and I'm excited by this little mini series here. Let's see what's going on. We've got this beautiful cover by Ryan Brown. It looks really, really cool. Okay, and the art by Ruairí Coleman is really, really nice. And this is written by Cavan Scott. Okay, so there's the creative team out the way. Now, who's the cast? We've got Iron Man, Emma Frost, War Machine, Firestar, Marrow, who's a kind of a cool villain, actually. I really like how she uses, like, manifestation bones to attack enemies, and it's really cool. Anyway, 10 years ago, the X virus swept the US from the Atlantic to the Mississippi. Millions died. The only people that survived became mutants. So if you were human, this virus would turn you into a mutant. And if that didn't happen, you would die. That's the long and short of it. Now, this is all down to Doug Ramsey, a.k.a. Revelation, the heir of Apocalypse, creating this mutant utopia. And the Revelation territories have been branching out, okay? More and more of America is being taken over. And eventually his plan is, I guess, to conquer the world, right? Now, he has his choristers. Now, these guys are mutants whose ability is to amplify other mutants' abilities. So they can amplify the power of Revelation's word, because that's his power. He can talk to someone and get them to do whatever he wants, which is how he's been making all of this happen. And also, he has his seraphim, which are essentially his angels of death, or rather, Wolverine's his angel of death. These are his sort of ultimate, closest, most dangerous mutant allies. So, here we have it. We're going to find out what's been happening to these guys in the interim. New York City, 10 years after the day of Revelation. So we have, obviously, Emma Frost here, hooded up, walking through the streets. This is Grand Central Terminal. She says, I never thought I'd find myself back here. Never dreamed I'd want to return. That was before I heard the rumors. I should have known this is where they would lead me, following the glyphs. As you can see, that looks like a Hellfire Club logo glyph over there. She says, the stories, a cure for the virus, a sanctuary for mutants. It all led to where it began and where it ended. So something happened here. This big hole is where the Avengers Mansion used to be. And here we are, 6 years ago. So we're jumping back in the past. So this would assume that 4 years of Revelation have happened, okay, at this point, right? And then Emma Frost here is 6 years after that, right? Because there's this 10-year gap. So War Machine, Iron Man, right? They're all having a throwdown with the bad guys from Revelation's crew. Phaser, Carmella's there, Firestar's there, Marrow's there. They're all there. They're all having a massive throwdown. Why are they there? Well, there's this young girl here, okay? Now, she was one of the quote-unquote lucky ones that when the X virus hit, she actually gained powers and didn't die. Her mother here has a gas mask on fighting off this virus because you don't know. It is a 50-50 chance, you know? You could just die. Terribly or horribly, or you could be mutated and get amazing powers or some terrible powers. I mean, look at old Franklin Richards if you've read that little short story one-shot in World of Revelation. So anyway, Emma Frost and the gang, they're not going to let this happen. They are not going to let Revelation claim another mutant to the cause. Now, the mutants who are already here fighting, they are brutal. They do not care. They are so indoctrinated with Revelation's teachings and beliefs and plan for the world that they will stop at nothing. So this big fight ensues. There is a bit of a throwdown here. As you can see, the gas mask comes off the mother. But does she turn into mutant? No, 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 no. She dies. She dies, leaving this young girl orphaned. And she decides to get some revenge. She brutally murders Revelation's goons here. Carmela's down. As you can see, she commands the earth to turn into these sort of spikes, which go straight through her back, through her chest. It's pretty gruesome indeed. So, War Machine and Tony, they're a bit like, okay, this is war, right? But something else happens. When she punched the floor, I think what it did is started shifting their tectonic plates a little bit. So we're in trouble now because the earth is starting to rumble. Everything's going crazy. I think that's 5-star up there. Her microwave field is going bananas. She's about to sort of explode. But old Rhodey here in his War Machine suit flies over and puts some cryo-dampening foam on her. Now, everything is going crazy. There's fire everywhere. There's smoke everywhere. Marrow strikes. Well, she tries to strike and kill the kid. But Emma Frost jumps in the way to protect her and takes that stake, that bone stake, straight through the chest. Oh my God, Tony is upset. Now, just remember, these two used to be married. In fact, they had been married twice before. Most of you will probably remember the Fall of X storyline, which is the one that's most recent. However, they also were temporarily married back in the Axis storyline, the Axis event, and Superior Iron Man. And that was because there was the Red Skull's hate-mongering spell, which inverted people's moral compasses of some of the heroes and villains, and it messed them both up. They ended up getting married, and after the events of that storyline, it was annulled, of course, because it was done because of the magic rather than love. And then in 2023, 2024, during the Fall of X and Invincible Iron Man, there was a huge storyline there, which I'm not going to go through, but they were married. And again, it was a marriage of convenience to help, fight the bad guys, but they grew closer and closer, but eventually it ended in annulment. So there is a lot of history between these two. And we get a little flashback here of them when they were together, but then we get brought back to what's going on here, which is Emma Frost is dying. And while he's distracted, Phaser shoots his shot, as they say, and Marrow pushes that bone further and further into her chest. Now, first things first, right? Now, from what I understand, why is she not in her diamond form if she's fighting now, right? Okay, I'm pretty sure she can't use her psychic abilities while she's in her diamond form, but I don't see her using her psychic abilities really much here. I don't see that happening much. So why don't she just diamond form up right at the beginning? Anyway, it's something that niggled me. I would have done that, right? Because I'm getting shit thrown at me from left, right, and centre. I'll probably put my armour on, right? Anyway, she doesn't. She's in human form, which is why this bone stake can go through her chest. And it really, really does. Now, while that happens, that little earthquake thing I was talking about really takes hold, and you see the whole Avengers mansion just sink right down into the earth. Tony doesn't care about a building, he cares about Emma Frost as she falls down this huge hole as well. Now, Marrow gets what she deserves. She lands, I think her back completely breaks, she's dying. Now, Emma's faced with a choice, to die or to diamond up. Right, and what I do like about this storyline, all right, because it draws a very, very interesting parallel with Iron Man's storyline, right? Now, she has to essentially put her armor on to stay alive, and if she turns that armor off, her diamond form, she's going to die, right? Isn't this exactly what happened to Iron Man? That's his origin story, trapped in a cave. His ticker was gone. He had to build the armor to get out and keep him alive. And for very much of the original Iron Man, he had to recharge that battery until he got, the special super duper charge thing. So this I thought was kind of cool. I thought that was really interesting. Anyway, that's exactly what she does. You can see there's a hole there, and you can see into her now. You see all this sort of diamond form internals, which look interesting. Now, they fly down, and they can't find her. They find Marrow, who's sort of laughing at what she's done. She's a bitch. And Tony just finishes her off, which I like. Now, here's where the story changed a little bit. So we got War Machine. He finds the young girl. Okay, and Tony wants to look for Emma Frost, and he's trying and trying and trying, but they have to get out of there because more of the Seraphim, who I mentioned earlier, will be arriving soon. They've got to get out of there for their own safety and the child's safety, and Firestar, of course, because she's wrapped up in this sort of cryo blanket at the moment. He reluctantly, shedding a tear, says fine. Now, he does try and go back and find her, but he never did. But she got out on her own, inch by inch. She clawed away, freeing herself. And now she has returned, looking badass as ever. Not in her usual white outfit, but in a black outfit to show the sort of flip side, which I like as well. Do you know what? This book isn't too bad. Now we see that symbol again. We see that symbol again on the mansion, which managed to sort of survive the fall into this huge sinkhole that this earthquake caused. And we find someone waiting, and we see those sort of earth blocks come up again and try and trap Emma. I wonder who that is. I wonder. Yes, of course, it's Eris, the young girl that they rescued all those years ago. But she's a bit more grumpy, a bit more badass now. You know, she's seen some battle. Her mother was dead. You know, she's living a life now sort of underground, basically. She says, Eris, is that you? It's been a while, Miss Frost. We all thought you were dead. I go by Landslide these days, so that's her name because, of course, she calls her Landslide. You can see that hole in Emma's chest there. She goes, I guess we've all changed, some more than others. Does it hurt? She says, I'm not here for small talk. Then why come back? Stroll down memory lane. There seems to be no love between them, considering that Emma fought for her and pretty much was one of the reasons why she's still alive. I thought, why aren't you a bit more like, oh, wow, you're here. Oh, no, I've missed you. I owe you everything. No. But anyway, Emma says, Iron Man. If what I've heard is true, and then you hear him speaking from the shadows, he says he can help repair your broken heart. She says, so you did return. Pity it was too late. Why are these two not sort of just being a little bit more friendly to each other? I don't know. He says, I needed a place to work, somewhere Revelation would never look. Well, there's a giant hole where the Avengers mansion used to be, right? There was a battle there. Isn't that the first place they looked? When the Seraphim turned up and found the giant hole, did they not just fly down there and notice that? This bit's confusing me. This is in a totally different place, but I don't think it is. That's the same hole. Yeah, so, that's one of the first places you look. And it's the Avengers mansion. So obviously it would be a place that he might keep an eye on in case other Avengers go there for some reason. So this bit doesn't make any real sense, but here we are. It forwards the plot, right? So anyway, he says you need a place to work, so this is their new base. Apparently he might be able to help her, save her. Apparently there might be a cure to the X virus. He says, I heard you're looking for a cure for the virus, Anthony. And Eris says, or rather Landslide says, told you, things had changed. The man you knew is gone, Emma. All hail the Iron King. What? What? The Iron King? I don't get it. Tony's made has Tony done what Emma's done? Is this what's happened? They've switched places, so now is Tony's skin turning to iron like Emma's could turn to diamond, or has he made a new mask or helmet in the shape of his face? It's all a bit bizarre, but I think that's what happened. So I think they've basically switched places. It's like Freaky Friday, isn't it? It's like Big, except with mutants and superheroes. So there we have it. Do you know what? I read it the first time and I wasn't that impressed. I read it the second time. I thought, actually, there's some cool ideas here. But on the whole, it's just okay. It's just okay. The art carries it for sure. I don't know where this is going at all. It just seems a bit of a gimmick, but it's only issue 1. So there could be something that really grows from this. So yeah, okay. I'm on number 2. I'm definitely up for number 2. It wasn't bad. In fact, it's been the least bad out of all of these Age of Revelation tie-ins so far. Iron and Frost. Yep, give it a read if you like Iron Man and like Emma Frost. Don't expect anything groundbreaking whatsoever, but maybe we're in for a fun story. Anyway, those are my thoughts. I'd appreciate if you let me know yours. Did you like this book? What do you think of it? What's your favourite tie-in so far? That would be an interesting one. Let me know in the comments. We'll have a little chit chat. So until next time, definitely don't forget to hit that subscribe button. That would be amazing. And give the video a little like on your way out. That would be amazing. So see you next time. Enjoy your day and read more comics.